Hi, I'm Tony. Welcome to Sports Bike Shop's review of the Rukka Hybrid-R Gore-Tex jacket. The Rukka Hybrid-R is a serious jacket in both a financial sense and also in terms of specification. It probably needs to be thought about as part of a trio of Rukka jackets that are all broadly similar. The toughest and the priciest of those three jackets is the Kingsley, which has a beefy construction, a AA CE rating, and that one costs 50 quid more than this jacket. The lightest and flexiest of the three jackets is the New Nivala 3, which has a single ACE rating and the same list price as this. That's 1500 quid. And then the Hybrid-R, this one sits in the middle. It's not as stretchy as the Nivala, it's not as beefy as the Kingsley, but it's still got that AA CE rating. I've worn one of these for a couple of 100 miles, and then I gave the same jacket to our Tame Kit reviewer David, so I can run through the details and also say what he and I both found out when we rode in this jacket out on the road. The outer shell is a mixture of regular and stretch cordura with the Gore-Tex 3-layer membrane, the top level, laminated to the back of it for direct waterproofing. That helps the jacket stay drier, as the water doesn't have to soak through the outer before the waterproof membrane gets to work. Our reviewer, David, did more wet riding than I did in this jacket. He covered quite a lot of wet miles and he found it repelled all of the rain that was thrown at him, and it also dried out very, very quickly after a wet ride as well. You'll find the stretch cordura on this jacket inside and under the arms, and it also extends across the chest. There are accordion stretch panels on either side of the torso as well. Reinforcement panels that are made from 1500 denier cordura, they add protection on the elbows and the shoulders, and they help achieve that AA CE rating. Fit adjustment comes with poppers at the biceps and Velcro tabs that can cinch in the lower hem. You could, in theory, relax the fit by opening the zipped pleats at the base as well, but in heavy rain that would leave you vulnerable to water getting into the jacket. Ventilation comes through 3 pairs of air intakes at the chest, the biceps and also the collarbones, and the fact that the outer shell and the membrane act as one layer in this jacket means opening those vents will allow air to flow through unhindered by that waterproof membrane. Now, this will allow the jacket to run cooler, but something like this will never become an absolutely perfect option in high temperatures. This one is effective in the bulk of sort of temperatures we face in the UK, probably up into the mid-20s of Celsius, before things will probably start to get a bit too warm. Now, also remember to close the vents if it starts raining. The direct to body thing is just as effective for water as it is for air. The main fastener for the jacket, that's a sealed zip running over a guttered channel with this small storm flap over the top that then shuts at the base with a popper. At the top, there's a Velcro collar, and Rukka's collar part lets you fold this fastener back on itself so that it's open, but it's not likely to stick to your helmet lining. Rukka's high neoprene neck, that's not popular with everyone, but I've got used to it over the years, and this can be a real bonus in bad weather. Now, when it's absolutely stinky weather, there's a gaiter, a rain gaiter that's stowed in the main collar. It's permanently attached in there, which does add bulk to the collar, but it means there's no chance of removing that gaiter and then misplacing it. Now, the cuffs, these in my opinion are the gold standard for keeping out rain. They do away with that age-old debate about whether to wear your gloves under or over the jacket sleeve. With this, you don't have to choose, you can do both. If you put your glove over the waterproof inner cuff and then zip the jacket's outer cuff over the top of your riding glove, that means water coming down the jacket sleeve can't run inside the glove, and then when your gloves become wet, they don't come into contact with your clothes under the jacket, so there's no risk of that water transferring from the wet glove to your clothes underneath, which makes them wet, cold and uncomfortable. This jacket cuff is more time consuming and fiddlier to line up than one on a normal jacket, but believe me, you'll be glad of it after an hour or more in heavy rain. Now, the last thing to cover on the outside is pockets. There are 2 at the waist, and they're described by Rukka as water resistant. Don't be put off by that phrase, water resistant. These use the same zips as the vents, so if you do them up fully, then in theory they'll resist just as much water as the rest of the jacket. And then in the right pocket there's a security strap, and that lets you clip your keys to a loop in there. As someone who can lose keys even while I'm holding them, I like that feature a lot. Right, let's go inside. The first thing we'll see is the chest protector, which is a one-piece D30 insert that meets the basic level 1 of the CE impact standard. It sits in a mesh pocket that zips into the jacket on both sides of the main zip. You can leave either the left or the right zip done up to keep the protector in the jacket, and then you do up the other zip once you've put the jacket on. If you don't like the idea of the one-piece protector, there are pockets on either side of the jacket that will store Rukka's optional 2-piece protectors. But if you do stick with the one-piece insert that comes with the jacket, That means you get to use the 2 pockets as regular storage pockets. The one on the left side has an extra pouch within there, which is big enough for most phones, and that stops things disappearing down into the large pocket. Those are the only internal pockets in the jacket itself. Behind there is the thermal layer. This doesn't attach into the jacket, it's a separate layer that you put on underneath the jacket. It's padded on the front and back of the torso for insulation, and then the sides and sleeves are made from a lighter stretch material for more flexibility. This is similar to the liner jackets that come with Rukka's Kingsley and Nivala jackets, but it's lighter and a bit more flexible. If you're on a riding trip, you can use this as a standalone layer in the evenings, which will save a little bit of room in your luggage. Now, I didn't ride in conditions which needed the extra warmth of that layer, but our other reviewer, David, he did, and he was very impressed with the Hybrid-R. He rides for the local blood bike service, and he spent over an hour in temperatures that hovered around freezing before he needed to turn on the heated jacket that he was wearing as backup. He was very impressed with the warmth properties of that liner. Now, once that layer's out of the way, we can see the Outlast liner, which is a fabric that smooths out the transition from hot to cold and back again. It's got microscopic capsules inside it that absorb or release body heat, depending on whether you've got too much of it or too little. Really, that is just about managing that change. It's not a long-term solution for either cooling or heating. Now, the pockets for the shoulder and elbow armour are attached to that layer, and this is one of the areas where Rukka truly excels. The inserts meet the higher level 2 of the CE impact protection standard, and in plain English, they're bloody massive. For illustration, here's a regular D30 shoulder protector, and here's the Rukka one from this jacket, so you can see the size difference there. There's a level 2 back protector insert included as standard, and if you need to reach that, it's behind a zip on the outside of the jacket, and then there's that chest protector that we covered earlier on. In terms of the overall safety certification, the Hybrid-R jacket meets the middle level within the CE standard, that's AA. Now, finishing up on the inside, there are 2 ways to stop this jacket riding up. There's a full-length zip that connects to Rukka's trousers, or there's a strap that goes from the back of the jacket to the front via the crotch and secures to a plastic loop on the inside of the jacket. Okay, let's talk sizing. The Hybrid-R jacket comes in sizes from extra small up to 7XL, and that covers a range from 36 to 56 inches at the chest. I normally wear whichever size is shown on the chart for a 40-inch chest, unless it's Rukka. In Rukka, I usually wear a small, even though the chart says that's a 38-inch chest. I did the same this time around, and this time I found the jacket was a little bit too snug, especially in the arms, and personally I would wear a medium if I had my time with this jacket again. The info from our returns team suggests there's no real issue with sizing though. We've had very few of these jackets returned to us for sizing issues, and the number of jackets that came back for being too small is the same as the number that came back for being too big, and that suggests the sizing is pretty intuitive to the sort of size people think they are. I found this jacket to be comfortable, and the amount of stretch is decent. It's not as flexible as Rukka's Nivala, but neither did I find it to be overly stiff. David, our other reviewer, said the same, and he also felt the jacket was probably a little bit smaller than he'd normally wear, so that is a good test of the inherent flexibility. You soon find out how flexible something is if you just wear it a little bit too tight. Now, in terms of money, the £1,500 price tag is a big one, but I'm kind of figuring the fact you've got so far into this review means that doesn't switch you off completely. My feeling on these kind of prices is usually the same. You don't have to spend this sort of money to get good quality bike kit. There are a lot of great bike jackets for around a third of the price. They're still Gore-Tex protected, and they're still AA rated under CE. But if you have the money and you want Rukka, then I don't think you're likely to be disappointed with what you get. When the conditions need the best quality, this, I believe, is the kit to have. To sum it all up, I think the relevance of the Hybrid-R jacket over other similar Rukka options comes down to how fussed you are about CE ratings and how fussed you are about flexibility. If flexibility is paramount, then the Nivala jackets, whether that's the old Nivala 2 or the new Nivala 3, do have more stretch and will be more comfortable, in my opinion, for most riders. You can also run a smaller size to get a more snug fit on the Nivala thanks to its extra stretch. If, on the other hand, you're the sort of rider who thinks a big ticket jacket like this needs a higher CE rating than single A, then this really is the obvious place to go. It's not quite as tough as the seriously meaty Kingsley, but it is more flexible than that, and it gives a good balance really of flexibility and protection, in my opinion. I hope that tells you everything you wanted to know about the Rukka Hybrid-R Gore-Tex jacket, but if there isn't a thing you'd like to ask or to add, then please pop a comment below. Thanks for watching.